I'll sleep with Pow Pow twice a day. And then during that whole week, I'll only sleep with Joy twice during that week. Yeah. So
your lifestyle is just the most entertaining thing to me.
Like, imagine if they let you get the views on this lifestyle. It would be the funniest comment section of all time.
What else here? You know what? One of the problems I have is I need to get my girlfriend's sex drive up, because the virgin girlfriend, her sex drive is extremely low, and she's all about love and family, and like she also like, you know, life partner type stuff, you know. But the sex thing is like such a secondary thing. You ever had a girlfriend that you wanted to get her sex drive up?
Honestly, I've never had that issue. Because I just feel like inherently all the ones I've picked have always like matched my my like high drive. Just because I don't think I'd ever settle for someone that wasn't on that same wavelength. Because I have friends that go through that where they, you know, they might be intimate with their partner maybe like twice a year.
That's crazy.
And I could never be in a, personally, like, I mean, if that's their thing, by all means. But I know for me, I just could never have a partner like that. It would drive me crazy.
Twice a year, and they're like paying and investing in that.
Yeah, like that's the relationship dynamic. And the crazy part is too, he obviously I won't say any names, but he's a more high type of drive, and he definitely wants more. But his girlfriend, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's hormonal or what, it just never wants to do it, except for maybe the twice a year. So I feel for him.
Is it a neurotransmitter issue with this girl? Is it a pheromone issue with this girl? I mean, have you fiddled around, Tony?
Could be. I mean, I haven't touched on it too. Oh, were you talking about Tony's?
Well, it could be the same problem.
Yeah, it could be the same for that girl too.
I mean, there's so many different routes, right? I mean, it could just be inherently the way that your new girl is brought up, Tony, where just because she's a virgin.
Well, I asked
not accustomed to that lifestyle yet.
Yeah, I asked her. So I, you know, I have the harem of all these girlfriends, and some get along and some don't. But we have Pow Pow and Joy. They get along really well. And we're all very intimate together. We kiss each other, but not like a threesome type thing, because Joy doesn't want to desensitize herself and do crazy stuff like that. And she's not lesbian, but Pow is. So Pow's always trying to get her to have a threesome with us. But Pow's got an extremely high sex drive, and Joy has no sex drive. And Pow thinks that it's just because Joy hasn't really fallen in love yet. But I talked to Joy about this openly, like, is the reason why you don't like having sex very much because you're not in love? And to her, she said, love has nothing to do with it. To her, it's like she's got her goal in her mind and her mind on the future, which is the same reason why she was a virgin in the first place. Like, she had such a strong goal of waiting to be with the right man. And if she didn't have that strong of a goal, then she wouldn't have been a virgin. You know, like it kind of goes like this good girl. Also, obviously, if a girl's got such a crazy high sex drive, she's not going to be able to be a good girl. The drive is going to be too high. She's gonna break somewhere along the line. But I think one of the reasons why this girl is such a good girl is because her sex drive is so low. And my other 13-year, now 14-year girlfriend from America, Chinese Vietnamese girl, also only been with 2 men, and she's 42. Me and her fiance before that, and her sex drive is extremely low. She could go years without sex and not even think about it. And she's a very, very good girl. And I think that's part of the reason why she's a good girl. She's not horny. So she doesn't make like decisions based on that. She makes decisions based on like her values. Like, her horniness never overcomes her values. So maybe it has to be
so
like
you
that.
Enjoy is are you guys married right now? Or no?
No, but I said I would never get married, but she's the first girl that I ever met that I said, okay, now I actually would.
So what I'm kind of building in my head, right? And I'm no professional, but just trying to plug myself into a female's head. Maybe because giving that up before what she initially set her goal of that to be, she looks down on herself for those types of acts until whatever is fulfilled that she was trying to gain out of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So what she's not trying to get marriage
like
out of it.
maybe she'd be more inept with wanting to do it, or more desirable wanting to do it if she had achieved that bigger goal of like marriage or what her grand scheme end picture type thing is.
Her biggest goal is to meet a successful man who will take care of her and mentor her to become a businesswoman. And so that's what I'm doing. That's like her main draw, which is perfect because then I can work and she helps me work. She watches me work. Like, this is a girl that supports my work, which is very good. So that's her goal. And yeah, maybe she's not letting herself fully tap into her sexuality until she's reached her goal of considering herself a businesswoman. But it's funny because her considering herself a businesswoman, like by her standards, I could just give her $10,000 and have her open up like a little shop and she would consider herself a businesswoman. So I can literally just buy that for her.
Right.
But I think she has to feel like
maybe she's trying to use it more as like a leverage.
I was about to say, it seems
where that's kind of like her form of I don't want to say like payment, right? But like what she's kind of bringing to the table, or something that she can kind of have you really wanting out of it.
Like she knows her value, like she knows her worth, and she's standing
She doesn't
on
want
it.
It to be like
and when
easy.
you go confront her about it, she's not cracking.
Yeah, maybe. She is strategic, shockingly strategic. Yeah.
Like she's what you want. You just admitted that you rewired around this one specifically. I don't know if she senses that.
It's almost like
she probably wants this like not easily accessible, thing. Like it's going to be for you with the harem, where it's going to be more of a challenge and a more meaningful thing where it'll be more rare. Yeah, just essentially boils back to leverage of something to have.
So then I was thinking I would use chemistry to ignite her sex drive. So we took PT 141. And surprisingly, she didn't get horny. Instead, she got anxious. Like she had energy. She wanted to go to the gym and do a leg workout. And she felt like restless legs and stuff. Like it definitely worked on her in some way. But all that sexual energy that builds up with PT 141, it went to like her muscles instead of her vagina.
I react really weird to PT 141. I only do the nasal because it's so strong for me. And I definitely get something closer to her than just being outright horny. I feel like stemmed up. I feel like Melanotan 2 spray would be more mild to where I could lean into the horniness more. PT 141's like concentrated, and I'm like, it just feels. I don't want to like fuck on it. Basically, is like internally how I feel. And I've never injected tons of it. I've just done the sprays.
We use oxytocin also, and various different nootropics, experimenting with dopamine and serotonin, and none of them really ignited the sex drive. On the other hand, I think maybe this is a good thing, because let's say your wife, that her loyalty would be the most important of all of the girls. Like my wife is going to have such a low sex drive. She could never cheat. It's not like this girl is not physically capable of cheating. Not even remotely possible. So that's the trade-off versus like I have other girlfriend who's like a sex addict, and if she's horny and she's drunk, she's going to have sex with anything in front of her. Like that's just that I just have to accept that, right? Like there's but the trade-off is she's amazing at sex. Like these crazy drunk sex addicts are, that's a wild experience. You can't get that from like a housewife, So it's got to have both.
So you already did all the chemistry and it failed, and now you're like twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah, I'm twiddling. Well, the problem is I'm like, okay, I want to take a vacation with her alone sometime, but I can't because I prefer to have sex twice a day. Like I'm okay. I'm good with that. 3 times a day, I feel amazing. And I like really short times, right? So with her, if she only can do it at a maximum of twice a week, she prefers once a week. How can I travel with her unless I need something else on tap? So that's why we have Pow Pow going with us to when we're going to go visit her family and ask her, like I said, because that's why I want to look younger. And Pow Pow's coming, so I'll sleep with Pow Pow twice a day, and then during that whole week I'll only sleep with Joy twice during that week. Yeah, so
your lifestyle is just the most entertaining thing to me.
Like, imagine if they let you get the views on this lifestyle. It would be the funniest comment section of all time. Like, the comment section of Tony's videos, if they gave him the views, would be gold.
Yeah, I think it's like a reality show, and it's real reality. It's like, but it's so bizarre, people just can't even imagine it's real. Like, it seems fake because it's so bizarre. But I love it, and I wish I could be vlogging the lifestyle more and not get censored, and grow. But I think it's gonna. I think if I push it too hard, it's gonna get censored. So I have to sprinkle it in, So like, for example, I just did this video on my hair micropigmentation, the hair tattoo, and in the video, the final clip is with me with baby mama number 3. Who's cat lady. That's why, Russo, when you said cat lady, I was wondering, are you referring to my crazy cat lady or all crazy cat ladies? You're referring to all of them.
All of them, correct. Yeah, I wasn't a call out.
Because I have one, I actually have one of the girlfriends is cat lady. And she has a child. Now, we just had a baby 5 days ago or something like that. So I have a 5-year-old daughter now, a 5-day-old daughter. So now 3 daughters. And
there we go.
I've been introducing the daughter, like I had Foxy, the crazy girl, interact with baby mama 3, and then I had Joy interact with baby mama 3. I'm seeing who's compatible, who could live together, these type of things. Because I need to start combining everybody. People can't live separate. I need more into one household to share resources.
This just sounds like a lot of work to me. But I guess also
I wish this was a reality TV show. I wish it was documented. I mean, what is the end term goal, Tony? What is the manifestation end path?
Yeah, this is interesting. I wanted to ask you guys that too. Like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? But I'll tell you what, for me, I would like to have like a 6-bedroom house with 4, like 1 extra bedroom and 4 of the girlfriends in 4 of the different rooms. And, then, at least 2 out of my 3 children living in the same household, so that all these different girlfriends can also be moms to the different children. So like they have like an aunt, like it's a family, and they're all taking care of each other. And one makes breakfast, and one does this, and one does that. Like, they have duties and responsibilities, and it takes the load off of them. And when they go to the store, one girl can drive. The rest of them, they can go do children's activities. The girls can all go together. I can work while the girls all go take the kids and do activities together. It's just like a Muslim family, right?
Yeah.
But initially, most of the purpose is I wanted threesomes on tap. I wanted to be able to have threesomes, during the, like, take a lunch break, boom, threesome, because I like threesomes more than anything. But, to like go out and get it, it takes time, and to try to match up the right girls. And so, yeah, you can have amazing threesomes if you invest the time, but I wanted to have it convenient on tap. But that's been the hardest part, because the girls will live together, and yeah, there's drama, and I have to be like the dad. It's just like having a whole bunch of daughters, and you got to like scold them. You got to sit them down. You got to teach them. I'm like the dad of all these women. So the problem is they don't want to like have sex with each other necessarily, unless they're bisexual and they feel really comfortable with each other. And some of them are, but so I'm trying to like nurture their relationships. Luckily, so Cat Lady's bisexual, and Pow Pow is bisexual, and they could. Actually, wow. Holy cow, I never thought of putting them together. I never considered.
Piecing it all together now.
Going through this manifestation, cleaning it up.
It's an equation he has to work out, yeah.
Wow.
Find out the kink.
Yeah, that's it. Pow Pow and Cat Lady.
Figured out the science of a black hole, finally.
Yeah. They have a similar style too. They're both like, they both like other girls' boobs and kissing, and they would play with each other. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay. Yeah, but then Joy doesn't want to but Joy will be intimate. Like, Joy will sit on the couch and, touch and feel and kiss a little bit, and, but she just won't get naked with the other girls,
Yeah, you have quite the life, let me tell you.
Yeah, we got to document it. Like, this is part of the vlog. If you guys came here, then we can vlog some of what I do and then vlog, you know, what's out there and, you know, the interesting scene and the vibe. There's the fitness community to vlog. There's the freedom community. There's the red light stuff. A lot of different elements. Biohacking.
Do you feel weird that you're like targeted with this lifestyle when in your head, you know, other guys are doing this completely in private on bigger scales? And that women basically like reversed engineered what you're doing essentially the entire time. And because you're a male, you're hyper targeted over it, when like all Western women basically utilize exactly what you're doing to a certain degree.
Yeah, it's definitely unfair between men and women in a lot of ways like this, and the way that Western culture wants us to think about it, I don't think is natural. But yeah, these Muslim households, you don't see this publicized very much. They're private about it, you know, but they're so very common in these other countries that a man has 4 wives, but nobody documents it. It's not public. They don't. Yeah, so it's weird because you see in the media. You know, the funniest thing is, the funniest difference I notice where how different the media is than real life is when you watch a movie, like families don't look like each other, a TV show, because they're not genetically related, but on TV, they're a family. And then when you go in reality, you see like families look like each other because genetics are the same. And you realize how your brain thought that thinks that like the media is accurate and reality is not, because media is making a bigger impression on your brain because they're doing a better job using technology to activate your psychology. And you start thinking what you see on TV and movies is real, and you start thinking reality is not as real as TV and movies. So that's just one example, but the same thing happens. Like, we think about how relationships are supposed to be and what's natural and what other people are doing based upon what we see in the media. But when you get out and you travel and you experience other cultures and you realize, wow, number one, people who have really mastered something in life, whether it's like sports, let's say they're using steroids, they're not going to be honest with it. They're not going to talk about it. Men that are like real pimps, and they have like a lot of stuff going on with girls, they've got to be private about it. They're not going to be on public about it. Otherwise they'll get taken down. Men that have like 10 wives at home, and they don't publicize it because it just brings too much heat. You know, the super wealthy in the world and what they actually doing behind the scenes, all kept private. Yeah. So like, we don't see what really like the super, super successful, because I believe like my relationship life is like such a crazy high level of success in some ways. And in other ways, of course, it's a drama disaster, but that's constantly under construction. But in some ways, I'm thinking my relationship life is so extraordinary, but people have no idea what this is about or what it's like. They can't even imagine, they can't even relate because they've never seen this in the media before. And yet this is what most men would want. Like, most men who see my life, they say 2 things. It would be their dream come true, and they can't imagine actually putting in the work that it would require to do it. Yeah. So it's not that people wouldn't want it. It's that they say like, yeah, I don't want to put in the work. It's just the same thing as like a Lamborghini. Like, everybody wants a Lamborghini, but nobody wants to really put in the amount of work to buy a Lamborghini. It's too much work to put towards that one thing, you know? Yeah. Yeah. So you got to see it firsthand, because your mind will be blown. It'll shock you. It's different than, it's so much more than can be put on camera because it would get censored. Yeah. Yeah. But
to try that.
Yeah. So let's just plan. I'd say don't waste your time going to Mexico for a vacation. Like, if you're going to take a vacation, just save up the time you would spend on a vacation and do something more interesting, like Thailand or something further out of your comfort zone, further out of your culture. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff to do with girlfriends too. And also, Russo, someday, you know, your type that has these long-term relationships, when you turn like 40 years old, your type oftentimes starts like doing swinging stuff or bringing other girls in for threesomes or something like that. Maybe it sounds crazy to you now, but just from experience, like commit a lot of committed long-term relationships, they start bringing other girls in, and the girl ends up getting comfortable with it. She feels so secure about it. She gets interested with it. You break her into it by showing her other girls. Eventually she finds one she's a little attracted to, has a good time. Not that you make a habit of it, but you might have some of these experiences together, and it actually makes you feel closer together. And actually, when a girl watches you have a threesome with another girl, but then afterwards you kiss her and you tell her you love her, like your girlfriend, she's like, oh, wow. So he can have sex with another girl and the other girl won't steal him away. He's still mine. And in some ways, her confidence and her security will go way up.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also I feel like for my long-term plan, I'd like to have a dynamic that I think, I'd like to build one more dynamic where I'm like, wow, this is very real. I don't know if that's possible. The way Kenny describes it, I'm pretty on point with Kenny's mind state. But my girl is fine with me building out a complete dynamic that I like. And at the stage I'm at right now, she just wants nothing to do with it. She doesn't want that frequency being brought in to our dynamic. But she understands what I am, so it's like. Can you be more direct? What do you? I mean, I think I know what you're saying, but can you use more specific language? I just I don't want to swing. I want there to be emotion attachment. I want more of I don't want oh, I have to go out to the bar with my girl and then pick one out and I don't want to do that. I'd rather just have it more real, and then it's all just known and openly communicated. Yeah. Also when let's say you travel to another country, you and your Western girlfriend will have a type of connection that you can't really have with someone from another culture. So it also gives you a sense of security. Let's say you and your girlfriend brought in an Asian girl, and she's not going to see the Asian girl as much of a threat because she knows that the Asian girl can't replace what she can give you, but it can be supplementary. Yeah. Just another concept. This is way in the future though. I'm just saying this is the natural progression. It's nice to look ahead 10 years though and see what's possible, so you can prepare for it better earlier. What is your emotions about sharing your women? I don't think I personally wouldn't want to watch that. I had
also before you answer that, Tony, sorry. Do you mind if I did? I mean, it's been an hour and a half.
Oh yeah,
my parents are in town visiting. Wait, plans tonight. Do you mind if I dip out?
Okay, you dip out and I'll answer this question and we'll wrap it up.
Okay, yeah.
All right, Kenny.
All right, boys.
All right, see you.
I'll catch you guys later on the next one. The next 3-hour daily podcast. All right, I'll catch you guys later.
So Russo, I had one really cute 24-year-old girl, great girlfriend, and she was giving me threesomes all the time and giving me everything I wanted. And one day I said, you've been so amazing. You've given me everything I want. I want to give you what you want. Don't hesitate to ask me. I don't care how weird it is. Nothing you can say can hurt my feelings. I'm so grateful for you. She really put my feelings first, my desires first. And she was very hesitant to tell me. It took a lot of my getting her to feel comfortable. But she told me, I have this friend who's very, very attractive. And she said, my dream would be to sleep with your friend. So I said, okay. Then I brought my friend in and we played with her together. And she was so happy. I don't think I've ever seen a girl as excited as she was. And that was probably the only time in her life that she had something like that. Yeah, it was for sure that it happened. Probably ever will happen. Probably will never happen again for her, right? So it gave her a once in a lifetime experience. And it brought us closer. I actually felt wow, I watched her have sex with another guy. I didn't feel jealous. Of course you feel jealousy come up, but then you control it. And then you're wow, I can control it. So it's not really a negative emotion if I can control it. And even she felt really good with him. But then I was kissing her at the same time, and she was, telling me she loves me, but she loved the experience. And I was wow, it's the same. It was the same as with if I wasn't there and she was alone with him, she would probably form some emotional bond. But the emotional bond stayed with me 100%.
Okay, that's a good way to describe it.
And it was just physical with the other man. And so it actually made me feel very, very secure. After that, I was like, this girl would never cheat on me because the emotional bond is so strong and so important to her. It was the other man was just supplementary. But I understand in Western culture, this is seen as like cucking or a bad thing for something like that.
Yeah, it's like, it's definitely seen as cucking, even though dudes are trying to normalize it. And like for my specific situation,
the alternative is the girl cheats on you though, because you didn't give her what you want, or she's not fully satisfied. Like if the girl wants to sleep with another man, what are your choices? No, she's not allowed to sleep with another man, in which case she's not fully fulfilled. Or yes, she's allowed to sleep with, or yes, she sleeps with another man, but she cheats on you and forms an emotional connection. Or you do it together and you keep the emotional connection, but you satisfy the physical desire and the fantasy, which is what I did. It worked out amazing.
I think with my dynamic personally, like she takes her body count of 1 to me extremely seriously. Like as a confidence base.
Yeah, same
like,
thing
I don't
with
think Joy would want to do that either. Like
No.
that's how, like she, like Carolyn has never like ever been over in that type of conversation, where I have been in that type of conversation, obviously as a male.
We went to the gynecologist, the vagina doctor the other day to see why, like, she's so tight, it's not normal. And I wanted the doctor to look and see, like, is her vagina normal or is this abnormally tight and like nothing we can do about it? So we got a lot of advice from the doctor. It was really interesting conversation. Wish I had a video of that. That would have gone viral, but I don't think the doctor would have, let me film him talking about this. But yeah, we did the full analysis of the vagina and got all of the advice and all that. But Joy was so nervous to have a guy look at her vagina. A guy's never looked at her vagina before. She's only had female gynecologists. So like, I'm the only adult man that's ever seen her vagina. And she was so nervous. She's like, no, another man can't see my vagina, this and that. So I was the one who said, yes, please. Like, I want, like, it's fine. He's a doctor and we need his expert opinion. And this has nothing to do with sexual. This is purely medical. And so, yeah, I think in her situation, I don't know if she will ever do that kind of crazy stuff. Like she came home from the gym just now and told me that she was cold approached, how it went, and that she denied it, like immediately open communication about this happened. This is how I'm feeling. They need to, that's important. And Joy also, like, I want Joy. And Joy told me that too. She said, yeah, a guy tried to pick up at her at the gym also. And she's like, he said this, I said this, and that was that. I'm like, okay, good. Yes, you need to tell me these things because, I need to it's just important. I need to feel like you're not hiding anything. And also, I know that's going to happen. And if you don't tell me that's happening, then I'm going to think suspicious, like, why aren't you telling me, But with other girls, I don't care. I don't assume. I don't even, like, with Pow Pow, she's so experienced. And, like, I got to worry about Joy because Joy is easily, like, she could be easily manipulated because she's young and doesn't know what a man, how, like, I can admit, I could pick up on a girl, so I know another man could pick up on a girl like this, maybe. But with an experienced girl, that they understand everything that's happening. If they cheat, they're doing it intentionally. It's no accident. She didn't get tricked, So with some of the experienced girls, I don't care what they do. I don't care that they talk to other men. If they sleep with another man, then that's good. I need to know that that's what they want. I just want them to be honest about it. But with Joy, I actually have to protect her, I just feel like, I don't know, like I used to be like in college, like I was like, okay, maybe this isn't like a long-term thing. And I was retracting. I looked around like Kenny and it was already destroyed when I was in college. And then I'm like, no, I'm just going to build this. And I've been pretty fucking satisfied. You mean culture, like relationship culture was destroyed when you were in college? Yeah, 100%. Like, so you had this relationship and you valued it a lot because you knew it was rare. Right. And like,
when I was in high school, that's when the dating apps first hit. And if you're on a dating app, every single girl wanted to fuck. Like, it's not like how Tinder is nowadays. Like, it was you swipe, you are just fucking. That is the only reason this app exists. And then you just saw the, you know, deterioration like within 3 years of like my senior year of high school. That's when the dating apps dropped. I'm maintaining my relationship through college, looking around, and I'm like, yeah, I don't trust any of them because of these stupid apps. And that's where all these guys are stuck, is in that loop that Kenny's in.
I guess the problem, like the problem for men, maybe like if men watch porn, maybe that deludes their idea of what relationships are supposed to be. Although I don't think there's a problem with watching porn, but that's what the criticism is. But when women, being as hypergamous as they are exposed to so many men that they don't actually have a chance of marrying or being with, like,
right.
But they see it and they see it. Well, I have to say, like, even if I take Joy to a restaurant and she sees another good looking fit guy, her eyes will wander. She'll look at them, and her hypergamous brain is thinking, is that a man I should add to my roster? Mm-hmm. You know, and it's just a biological thing. I have to be aware of that. Where if you're in person, you're not going to come across that much competition, but online it's unlimited. So I think one of the reasons why Joy stayed so pure is she doesn't do very much on Facebook, Instagram, all these. She doesn't have a public profile where she shows much about her at all. It's only for family. So she really like isolated herself from the social media influence.
Yeah. And my girlfriend doesn't even want to be posted. Like, no amount of pressure from other women. The
only time I met her is when I saw you in person.
Yeah, she just wants, she knows like what I value. She knows how to create the most value, and she does it very well on backing me in my work and knowing like, hey, my friends who don't think you post me enough, you know, I don't give a shit. Like, she knows how it is.
Yeah.
Where like Kenny might be dating one of these chicks that goes back to her group of chicks that say what a piece of shit Kenny is. She brings that energy back to Kenny, and then Kenny's just intoxicated by the toxicity for months on end.
Yeah. Yeah, the toxicity. That's a good. Do you have to deal with any toxicity with your girlfriend?
No,
do you have to sometimes
I used
manage?
To like 2-3 years ago. I definitely like, she was trying to bend my frame, and I'm like, listen, like, I'm not eating a full blue pill here. Like, let's be realistic. Had to snap the frame back, but I let her bend it for a while. I'm like, where is this going? And then I snapped it back. Once we snapped it back, then I immediately took a break from her and just like pried her off and like let her realize everything I did for her, all the like aids I was to her. Then we reconnected, the frame's fixed. So I already dealt with that.
I'm dealing with fixing the frame with one girl right now, Foxy. I let her get out of control, her emotions out of control, her partying out of control, and now I had to rein her in completely. Yeah. So, wow. And it's hard, you know, it can be hard to change the frame. Like, you had to have like a little break and then come back together, right? You can't just like transition it immediately. So that's the same thing with Foxy. I had to like have this little break. I had to move her out and get her another place.
Right.
And like rebuild it from there. And yeah, I'm dealing with this right now. But my hope is, my whole goal with the harem was to get all of my needs satisfied and not spend any time on it. It's supposed to be efficient because I just want to work. I just want to learn. I'm obsessed with learning. I want to spend more time learning, not more time on girls. So I'm trying to make it as efficient as possible. But wow, women have a way of like always throwing challenges.
Well, the currency they want from you, even though you probably think it's money, they also want attention to the same level.
And they'll behave badly to get it if they don't get it from giving good attention. So you have to work at it. You have to proactively give good attention.
Exactly. Like, I'll send my girl messages. Like, she's not bothering me all day because she knows I'm working and I got on my way to message her.
Say, thank you for not bothering me.
Exactly.
Be grateful for it. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I'll take Joy to the gym here soon. Yeah. I was not supposed to work out for 3 days with my hair tattoo, but today's day 3 and I'm going to just do like some very light workout because I'm getting like really small hair. Like, I mean, for me,
you have muscle memory. You're going to bounce back.
I'm trying to impress her parents. I wanted to have big muscles, full head of hair, all this kind of stuff. I mean, I'm probably doing overkill, but still it matters a lot to me. I never cared this much before. So this is, I guess I fell in love, Yeah.
You feel like a different dynamic with this one? Like you feel like this is love?
Completely. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, well, there was
times when I have a ton of experience. So this one being this polarizing.
I have a lot of experience, and this is very different than anything I've had before. And I didn't think like this is probably I've experienced more than 1,000 women. So imagine how much experience I have. And this is like a very rare, and it's the stereotypical pure virgin that is moldable to how you want the family to go. And you have unlimited options. You explored unlimited options and you still land right back where nobody wants to admit why this society is deteriorating. You ended up all the way 180'd around. You know, there's a few times in my life I have to admit I was really wrong about something. I thought that the more experienced the girl, the better. And now I realize like the importance of, and this is why women lie about their body count. Of course, they understand their value decreases directly in proportion to how many men they've been with, you know? So yeah, it really is like that. And I hated to admit it because it's hard to find, because it takes a lot of training too. If you get an inexperienced girl, that's a huge undertaking, a lot of time to train her. I was thinking just get an experienced girl who's already trained. But the problem is they're never going to be trained to my perfect specifications. I have to build it. It's like a custom car. Like let's say like nobody's built you the perfect motorbike or the perfect car. You have to like get one that's got a good foundation and then mod it to be your perfect car. And the same thing with women. Like you're never going to find the perfect woman, but you could find a woman that has the material to be your perfect woman and then build her into your perfect woman. And you got to put in the time and energy to do that. I've spent a lot of time training Joy, a lot.
See, you're like the definition of like, you had the red pill life and eventually you got over it. Like, other guys have like wanted to throw me into the red pill life, and like I don't feel like I'd like rotisserie using my status and like doing all that. It just seems like a waste of time to me. Like I definitely want to build a dynamic and not like just red pill around. I don't know.
Yeah. You know, the other part of this too is men are ruining this because men have the mindset of just sleeping with a lot of women and sleeping with women they're not interested in marrying. But at this point, I'd say, okay, yeah, that's true. Men need to get a lot of experience. I think young men should be with experienced women just to gain experience, but know that it's temporary. But then when it's time to find a life partner, you want to get one that is as pure as possible that you can build. Yeah. And you want to wait until, well, you did it fine. You built it, you're building it together. But absent that, I would say it's better to build all your success and build all your money and everything else. And then choose your wife, because the more success you have, the better wife you'll be able to get. Like, I think I got a really good one. But I couldn't have gotten her if I didn't have the money. She wouldn't be with me if I didn't have the money. This is very blunt and honest. Like she wants a man that's a certain level of attraction, certain level of money, certain level of education. Like there's qualifications that she was choosing. And you say like, oh, it's love, right? And I told her like, but what about love? Like, didn't you get pulled into love before? And she's like, no, because I know in her mind, she's like, I can choose to love who I want, but I want to choose the man who's going to give me the life that I want. Like, wow, this girl, she was trained by her mom and her grandma. Yeah, she
definitely is on point. She knows that's the frequency she's paying you. And it seems like she got you with that frequency being so pure. And then she knows how to utilize that as leverage, which is the ultimate leverage for someone like you that has everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. She came at an angle nobody's ever come at me before, like with this perfect angle before.
Well, like women in the West will go on Tinder, and then, you know, the average height of a male in the West is what, like 5'9", 5'8". You know, they just hit sort, 6 and above, boom. They just eliminated like 80% of the dudes that they'll never see their profiles. Like, that's what's going on in the West when it comes to choosing life partners. It's just literally money, status, genetics, the end. It's literally add to cart.
So what people don't talk about, what super successful men are doing to find wives right now is they are paying services. And
me and Carolyn were just talking about matchmakers.
Yeah, matchmakers.
So, okay. Yeah,
that's the future.
Just talking about that.
Because you don't have time to date and find the right woman. Like if you're working all, like there's where are you going to find them? You can't go to a dance club.
No.
Like the good women, they're home. They're reading books. They're learning from their family. They're maybe in college. Yeah, they're in college, sure, but they're not dating. They're not like the best women are not going to be dating. They're going to be very careful on who they even go with a date with, you know. Very, very selective. So how do you find them? It's going to have to be like matchmakers, because like Tinder and all this is just not made for high quality matches. It's made for rapid fire, you know, dating. Yeah.
Well, that's the only, like, males this day and age, what you could approach at a bar. You could cold approach if you find a hot chick in the store, or you could use the apps. There's not like I just feel like my generation of people is so on the phones that, you know, I could just go to a girl's Instagram DM box, and because I have so many followers, I pop off at the top, and then I'm sorted out of the guys who actually want to commit to her if I didn't want to commit. And once they get programmed on that, it's very hard for them to get away from that sort of attention when it's just unlimited on tap, where they're pushing males away who actually have the balls to cold approach. Like, you see the gym TikTok war going on of these girls literally recording dudes, like giving them a glance and being like, I don't like this. And it's like, we can laugh and joke about that, but the simps in the West, you know, they download that, and then they're even stuck more in this cycle. And that's just like, it just gets worse every single year here.